Look, before we get into the content, it's really important that you guys hit that subscribe button. We're out here every single day working for y'all, trying to hit y'all with the best content. And what motivates us to keep going is people like you. So hit the subscribe button, join the conversation, join the Deuce Gang.
What he said.
What time did you wake up? What time you go to bed last night?
Like 8 a.m.
8 a.m. What time did you finish work?
6, but the person who was supposed to show up came in a little bit late, so I had to stay a little bit longer.
Oh, damn. So you went to sleep at 8 a.m. and then what time you get up?
What time is it now?
It's like 2. Nigga, that's amazing. That's
I
6.
got up like 10 minutes ago.
That's 6 hours.
Cool, man.
Look, listen. The experts say you should get like 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are lots of people out in the world that function on far less. People who live for a very, very long time, talking CEOs of companies. You don't get to be the CEO of a massive company, sleeping 8 hours a night. Like, it just doesn't happen. Beyonce goes days without sleep just so she could show you the booty shake in the Dangerously in Love video. But the experts are the experts. They know what they're talking about. We take their advice. Well, sometimes we do. And I know you have a affinity for a few fast food places. And I think in one of our conversations, you may have mentioned you like hot dogs. Is that fair to say? You like hot dogs? Pause.
I've never once said that.
You've never said you like hot dogs before?
What are you talking about? I've never said that
We've
before.
been podcasting for like almost a year. And we talk fast food establishments. You go here for this, you go here for that. You know what I mean? I believe you said something to the point like you wouldn't go to like McDonald's for a pizza. I'm just giving an example.
I wouldn't go to Dairy Queen. I wouldn't go to Dairy Queen for hot dogs. Yeah, I wouldn't go to Pizza for shrimp.
Well, yeah, this is what I'm saying. So I'm not saying you're obsessed with hot dogs, but you eat hot dogs, yes?
I've eaten hot dogs before, yeah. Yeah, I've eaten hot dogs before. Yes, I have.
There we go. Now, as far as your need,
you're making it sound like I have like a hot dog costume in the back and I wear my hot dog hat when I'm eating it.
But as far as your need for your 8 to maybe 10 hours of sleep, because this is what the experts say, you're not unique in this perspective. This is what the experts tell you. So as far as your need for that, do you do that because the experts believe this is what you should do, like, or do you do that just because you feel like your body, like, why do you need that?
Okay, so it's not that I need 8 hours of sleep. So when I go to sleep at 8 a.m. and I wake up you have to understand that what you're not, the context of it is that you have to tell people that I start work at 10 p.m. and I finish at 6 a.m. is when is the shift that I'm working. So throughout the day, I'm still doing stuff. I'm not sleeping all day and then just waking up, right? So
I don't care. I'm just talking about your sleep schedule. Like do you feel like you need to have, I believe you've answered the question. No, you don't need to actually have 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't need it, no.
Okay. So the reason I asked that question, and I'm trying to make the parallel to the hot dogs, is because the experts say every hot dog you eat, 36 minutes off your life. Every sugary drink, breakfast sandwiches, your Tim Hortons, for our American friends, your Dunkin' Donuts, your wherever the hell you go, 36 minutes off your life.
Yeah, but like, what kind are these? Is this just any type of hot dog? Because there's different types. There's people that make all beef hot dogs. There's the regular hot dogs that you can get, the ones that you get at the grocery store that are made from remaining parts of animals.
I'm assuming they're referring to those hot dogs.
Made that actually comes from paste. Is actually is a paste.
Like basically the hot dogs that the regular, consumer buys. Like you go to a grocery store, you pick up your hot dogs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people that go to a butcher for hot dogs, is what I'm saying.
No. Obviously not. But there's also Costco. Costco has the little fancy ones. You know what I mean? So that's the ones I usually get are the beef ones because I don't indulge in the swine. I don't indulge in the swine. So I have to get my all beef. But who knows? Those could be the same ones and they're larger.
This
so
is what I'm
taking more
saying.
time off of my life. But this is how I feel about this. I don't care. There's who cares? Who cares? There's tons. Every product that's ever been created in history has some type of thing that it does. Oh my goodness. Well, am I gonna stop using deodorant? Because deodorant can cause cancer. So should I stop using deodorant altogether? How about antiperspirant? I could switch to antiperspirant, but then antiperspirant clogs your pores apparently, which could lead to like internal problems from your body breathing. So should I do that instead? Who knows? Should I take Tylenol when I have a headache? I could, but Tylenol also has its side effects. It's a blood thinner. So if you don't know this before you take Tylenol and you bleed and you might have that condition where you can't, your blood doesn't clot, you could die just from taking Tylenol. Do I stop taking it? It's
now,
like,
no, and you bring up an excellent point, but the only difference is these are all, again, according to the experts, these are all might. If you have this pre-existing A, B, or C, and you take your Tylenol, well, XYZ can happen. They're saying foods like this literally takes 33 minutes off your life. Now, to counter that, though,
how did they calculate that?
I don't know.
What did they do? They did a research on people and just waited till they died.
So obviously, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. I'm giving the information. You're asking a wonderful question. Unfortunately, you're asking the wrong person. But what I will tell you though is they found a way to counter that.
To counter what? The death of hot dogs?
Yes, exactly. So if you eat
this is such a dumb thing to research.
So if you eat a hot dog in the morning and you're concerned that those 33 minutes, 36 minutes, that could have been used for something miraculous later in your life, eat a peanut butter sandwich because it tacks on 33 more minutes.
Okay, and just when you
it's
thought
all
the
about
conversation
balance,
couldn't get
people.
any more useless, just when you thought
it's all about balance, people.
This research, what the hell is going on in the world right now to where people are researching hot dogs and then trying to counter that with you know what? I'm just waiting for Johnson & Johnson to come out with the research report because they've been on a roll with this. They seem to be on a roll with these type of things. So let's see what happens.
Well, the reality is most people consume these foods, sugary drinks, breakfast sandwiches, or drive through at their coffee shops or whatever it is. So if this is you, which I'm pretty sure is a large percent of the people watching this video right now, including you, if you think this information is relevant, well, I'm just saying there's ways you can counter that now. Eat up.
As long as things like soda pop, okay, stop. As long as things like soda pop and those things exist, people are not going to care about no hot dogs taking no time off their life. They out there drinking 2-liter bottles of Fanta right now.
I mean, you do make a great point. A lot of people do make stupid decisions. They put caution labels on cigarettes, can cause cancer, et cetera, et cetera. People still smoking. They tell you that you shouldn't drink and hop into a car. People still do that.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. And here's a clear example of no one caring. Let's cut to the tape. All right. 1 second here.
Oh, there's a tape.
All right, man. Come on. I came prepared.
Give my gun! Shit. Fuck.
Yeah. So when we talk about, when we talk about people not caring, and then you've seen the crate challenge, you're like, yeah, you're right. People really don't give a shit. They're stupid as hell for trying to do this. I've seen some success.
I thought it was just the crate challenge. That looked like it was just the crate challenge. And like, I've already seen this. So that was an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, I've seen some crate challenges that were successful, people actually making it across. I've seen some where people they get bruised the hell up. In this situation, however, happened in Louisiana. Clearly you can hear the gunshots. 3 people died.
Oh, you fucking
Yeah, this crate challenge happened in front of a school. Now, I want you to for a second think you're in public, broad daylight. I don't know about the people who got hit. RIP, condolences to them. I don't know about their past dealings if they were in that life. But imagine for a second you are in that life and you're in broad daylight. You're open. I'm already nervous. But now you're walking up on a crate. Like, you don't want to make yourself more of a target.
You know, it's
You know what I
funny.
mean?
You won't even go to Malvern Mall with me. So
There you go.
I know that you don't want to be in no. And I told you it's safe, man. Come to Scarborough with me, man. Let's come to my hood, man.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sidebar.
Listen, no, front bar. I've lived half my life in Scarborough. I'm good. Scarborough, I love you guys, but y'all niggas is crazy. But the point is Buddy's on top, thinking he's gonna actually complete the crate challenge.
Yeah.
Gunshots. When you hear gunshots, either you, according to that guy passing my gun, either you bucking back or you looking for cover or you hitting the deck. Mans is on the top, like crazy shit is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Obviously there's no previous story. Nobody knows the history of what was going on, or all they know is that somebody was shot. But I can assume, I can definitely assume that this wasn't just like they were aiming for somebody else and these guys were innocent bystanders. Like, I can assume that this was intentional just by the amount of shots taken and the fact that I really didn't see anybody else like that wasn't part of that group. You know what I mean? In the scene, it's not like they were across the street from something, you know, and there's a store across the street. Like, that was in an open field area. So this was definitely intentional. I'm just gonna dissect what I saw for a sec. Okay. So I'm assuming that based on that the people that were there, one of them at least had to know that they were in some type of situation where they shouldn't have been out in public.
That's a fact.
I just have to throw that out there, right? At least one, right? Here's the thing. If you know this, if you're aware of this, you can still do the crate challenge. You can still do it. But pick somewhere that's a little bit safer, one. And two, if you know that you're in a situation where your life is on the line, the crate challenge is not that important.
No.
I don't understand why people place so much importance on these dumb. I'm gonna call it for what it is. The crate challenge is the dumbest thing I have ever seen since almost the Tide Pod challenge.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I do remember.
Doug, can you believe that social media and the internet actually got people to eat laundry detergent, bleach, and all types of things? And now, because people are so obsessed with attention and views and likes, and on top of it, that we're in a generation that lacks originality incredibly. Their originality is done. That's gone. It's find what's popular, copy that, and try to get on the same way someone got on. Nobody's trying to do their own separate thing. Small groups. So you combine those two things, and then you say to yourself, bro, how do you still decide to go out and do this? I don't feel bad.
Well, I mean, again, this is speculation as far as these people, again, RIP to them, who were fatally wounded in this shooting. This is speculation because Buddy did say, now that's not to say just because you're saying, go get my gun, that's not to say just because you have a gun, you're a criminal. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at all the circumstantial evidence and then you attach that statement, I think it might be fair to assume if they were not directly involved, they were indirectly involved in that life. And if that was the case, to your earlier point, why the fuck would you be out in broad daylight like a sitting duck? Okay, first of all, to be out in broad daylight, in an open space. That's one. But then to position yourself on the crate, you can't even maneuver on the crate challenge. How you supposed to buck back?
You don't use the crates. He's going to use the crates as his defense. That's a wall.
You know what I'm saying? So again,
Plastic wall that bullets can't go through.
That they can't penetrate. Look, like we're not trying to be insensitive here, right? But we're just trying to point out the painfully obvious. Furthermore, again,
I'm just done. I'm just done condoning stupidity. That's it. I'm done. The rest of the world can condone stupidity because they continue to do it. But me personally, I'm over condoning stupidity, stupid decisions, especially from Black people. I'm over it.
Well, they excuse me. They said this is event 1 of the Hood Olympics. That's what this is. Viewing public, have you participated in the crate challenge? What are your thoughts on the crate challenge? Do you have any more information on these people's backstory? Again, we are not the police, so be careful with what you share. Don't forget to leave it in the comments, like and subscribe. Deuces. Look, one thing I wanted to say about the vaccine, right? The vaccine for the VID. Because we've had conflicting views on this, obviously, but I had a conversation with one of my friends today, and he brought a perspective outside of me that I didn't even know I had.
Is he vaccinated? Your friend?
No, he's not vaccinated. But anyways, his concern is that certain companies that I think that has to do with they're federally governed or something, like I can't remember, but they might, like for instance, the cops. They might be forcing the cops to be vaccinated, right? So anyways, So his thing is like, why are you forcing me to get vaccinated? So we had our back and forth, but in our back and forth, what I always say to you is, bro, the vaccine does not prevent you from getting the vid. Therefore, it does not prevent you from spreading it. So he's like, why are you forcing me to get it then? And that's when the light bulb went off. So I'm going to keep this short and to the point, but my thoughts here are if the company I work for, company A, says, Chris, you can no longer work for us if you are not vaccinated, to me, that makes no sense. Because if I'm vaccinated, right, and I go into my place of business, I can still pass the virus on. Me being vaccinated does nothing for me passing it on. So what I think is the only thing they should be mandating is masks. Now, I'm not saying masks also work 100%, but what I am saying, take COVID out of it, take the vid out of it. If I'm just sick and I go into your face and I cough, chances are you might get sick. However, if I'm just sick and I have a mask on, a good mask, and I come close to you or even in your face and cough, the chances decrease. So the masks, they work as far as preventing the spread. Social distancing, I'm for that. Washing your hand, I'm for that. So these are the things that I feel need to be mandated before a vaccine. And the reason we had this conversation is because our chief medical officer in Ontario is saying the Delta variant messed everything up. In other words, in order for Ontario to get back to normal, they need like 90% of people vaccinated. But wait, when you look at the population of Ontario, in order to hit 90%, bruh, they need children under 12 to be vaccinated. I want to say that again. In order for Ontario to get out of this state of emergency, they need 90% people vaccinated. But there's not enough people over 12 to hit 90%. So to hit 90%, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, they need your 12 or under to be vaccinated.
But hold on a second. I thought that children that age don't. I haven't heard of many children that age catching the vid. So
it's not that, and you make a great point, and that is why I started the way I started with the vaccine. It doesn't prevent the spread; it just protects the person. Because the point you're making, my guy, is people like the young kids, the adolescents under 12, they can get it, but by the grace of God, it doesn't put them in the hospital. So what I'm saying is, if the vaccine doesn't prevent the spread, it just prevents the person from getting ill or dying, and kids don't get that ill or die, knock on wood. What the fuck are you including them, sorry, Auntie, in the equation for? It makes no sense.
Listen, I don't know what you expected me to say on this one. I mean, any video that you watch, you know my opinion on this whole topic, man. I haven't swayed, and I still won't sway. And you know, the information continues to go back and forth. They say they need 90% to be vaccinated to counter the Delta variant, but as far as I know, there's still no vaccine for the Delta variant, because the vaccines that they have right now, they say are not good. Am I right?
No, it works, but there's still a percentage. They call it breakthrough cases.
Yeah.
They call it breakthrough cases where you could be fully vaccinated, timing of your vaccine, blah, 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 blah. But the aggressiveness of the Delta might, hence the name, break through and still get you ill, really ill.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
there isn't a lot of them. There isn't a lot of them, but yes, correct. It's stronger. Yes.
Because based on what's happening right now, I'm assuming that with the variants, since there's going to be more. There's going to be more variants, right? They have to find essentially a cure that could host an entire family of this virus. Because if we now have we were in the third wave, and now we have a Delta variant, which is the fourth wave, and we still don't have something that can absolutely cure this, we have to only assume that there's going to be more variants that are going to come along, and they're just going to get stronger and stronger. That's what they do. They adjust, they filter themselves, and they grow stronger so that they can continue to do what they do, right? So I don't understand how this is a solution. I'm confused, as I usually am with this topic, as to why they feel like this would be a solution, or why that number specifically would save us, not just from this, but like I'm talking about in the future when these other variants come. That's not going to save us from these other variants. This is just something to protect us from the Delta variant, right? That's what this is for.
Well, I mean, ultimately, we don't know what other variants may come in the future, but I'm assuming what they're hoping is the vaccine that they've created is strong enough to combat that. Again, Delta variant, there is breakthrough cases, very, very small. I'm talking like, and please feel free to correct me, but I'm talking like less than 1%. So there are some breakthrough cases that's the Delta variant for your ass. They thought they had it figured out, but then Delta showed up and was like, I don't think so. But to your point, these variants, that's why it's called a variant, right? It keeps changing. It adapts. It adapts to the host body. So God forbid somebody, they've been fully vaccinated, but then they still contract the vid, right? They're good. They're good. They're good. But let's say they get it and then they pass it on to somebody else while it was in them. Can't do this, can't do that, can't do.
Right.
It's trying to, the virus is trying to figure shit out. How can I break through this vaccine? So then they pass it on to somebody else. And that's how variants start. So to your point, I think they need to figure out a cure, because I don't see this thing going away anytime soon. What the chief medical officer said is they see this thing getting to a steady, healthy decline sometime in late 2022. This is what they said.
How?
I don't know.
What? Okay. I feel like at this point, because we've come so long and it's been so much time at this point, when they make these statements, they got to provide some kind of research or something that backs up this. Don't stop making. The problem with this whole situation and why there's so much confusion is because these medical officers, they continue just to make these statements about what we need to do or what we don't need to do to prevent this, or to help make it safer for yourself. They keep changing it, and it keeps going. Sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that, sometimes it's this, sometimes it changes to that. And the reason why it's so unclear to everybody is because they don't tell us how they come to these conclusions, or they choose not to explain why these things would be good measures to take. And I feel like with that, maybe it might ease some of the minds of some of the people who are out here still following the government and trying to do what's best for them. Because like at this point, I'm still, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say.
Look. Let me say this, and this is what I said to my friend, because he said he ain't ready for it yet. When he's ready, he's ready, and you got to respect that. But I would say this: take the vid out of the equation. It never happened. If you're sick, you got a regular common cold. What do you do when you got to go out? Cool. That equates to a mask. If you're sick, regular common cold, you're doing your Count Dracula cough or sneeze, fine, right? Do you go up in people's faces? No. To me, that sounds like social distancing. If you're sick and you go to a friend's house or whatever, you wash your hands. To me, that sounds like the same stuff they've been telling us all along. So what I'm saying is, this is common sense, people. If you don't want to get vaccinated, you don't believe in the vaccine, cool. That is up to you. I don't feel like you should be pressured. There will be consequences if you don't want to get vaccinated. It just is what it is. But, if you don't want to do it, don't have to do it. But if you care about your safety and the other people around you safety, just pretend like you have a cold every day. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just a regular cold. And you, by all accounts, should be all right. Again, for YouTube's sake and for viewing public's sake, I'm not a doctor. Barely graduated high school. I'm just saying. and the link will definitely have to be in the description box. Shut up. I know what you're going to say. But yes, viewing public, I want to know what your thoughts are, especially if you're in Ontario. I don't know how we get out of this. What I do know is I have a 2.5-year-old coming on 3. She ain't getting vaccinated. It's not happening. Even doctors will tell you at that point, it's risk versus reward. Since we know how it impacts people in that age bracket, why would we give them a vaccine, right? What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. And this is an interesting one because this is about the only time we've talked about the vid where my guy here had very little to say. But that also says a lot because he's sick and tired of saying the same shit over and over again. Just message. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and wait, did I say describe? Subscribe.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far. You have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000. And we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.